Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rewind, the retro video game show coming to you live every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on the AWS for Games channels on YouTube and Twitch. Now, I know, again, you're asked about this just about with every video on YouTube and Twitch, but also every time I show up, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button right there on the side of the, or the bottom of the video there, to make sure that you are subscribed to our channel. Give us a like, a thumbs up if you like what we're doing here, and hit that little bell. Make sure you are alerted every time we go live with retro video game news and a whole lot more right here on, again, the AWS for Games channels on YouTube and Twitch. And so, yeah, my name is Chris Melissinos. I'm the principal evangelist for video games here at AWS. And on this episode of Rewind, we're going to keep the arcade party going and take a trip back in time to the 1990s. Now, this was the era that moved video games into more exciting, detailed, and varied experiences, where companies like Capcom, Sega, Williams, and SNK created some of their most iconic brands. Now, I'll give you a bit of a warning. I was not a sports or fighting games player. I know, that's terrible. So while I love watching the skills that Street Fighter II, Mortal Kombat, and NBA Jam players demonstrated, I just never really got into those games. So this episode may not be the best of the 1990s, but they are some of my most favorite video games from that era. All right, so with that, no more talk. We've got games to play, so let's head on over to the arcade. All right, and here we are. As I mentioned last episode here, the background here comes from a game or an application called New Neo Arcade by Digital Cyber Cherries, and it's downloadable on Steam, and it's great because you can basically make your own virtual arcade. This is one of the screenshots from my virtual arcade in the New Neo Arcade games. And of course, right behind me is a very famous opening from the MAME community that was done all the way back in, I believe, 2001, and just kind of gets you right back into that, well, the neon colored carpets with the space themes and all of the day glow and neon sort of lighting in arcades. So it kind of really just takes you back into real arcades, not ticket swiped arcades or those sorts of things. You needed quarters. You need to find the dude in the smelly t-shirt and one of those little change things to go ahead and break your dollars out so you could go ahead and play arcade games. That is the arcade that I grew up in. Those are the games from those eras that we're going to explore today. So we're going to jump right in. So one of the games that I love, my favorite game of all time, is Robotron 2084. And this is a twin stick shooter by the amazing Eugene Jarvis. And there was a sequel, a follow-on called Smash TV. We're going to go ahead and jump in and start playing that. But I want to make sure that the screen is set up correctly here, and so we can see everything in full detail. So give me one moment just to fire that up and make sure that we are centered correctly to be able to go ahead and play that game. So we're going to go ahead and get over to that right now. And of course, if there are any other games that you grew up playing in the 1990s that we wanted to go ahead and talk about, go ahead and hit me up there in the chat and let me know what they are. Let me know what you think of the games that we've got going on here. And yeah, we can go ahead and do that too. So, all right, let me just go ahead, like I said, and double check the scene here to make sure that everything is centered correctly for us as we go ahead and jump into play. And you know what? I think we're good. I think we may be pretty all right. There we go. All right. So right now what we're doing is, you know, the software is checking to make sure that the machine is live and working. And here we are. We are now in using the whatchamacallit. We are getting ready to play some Smash TV. So I'm going to lower the music just a tad. Actually, I'm going to crank that music up for when we finish the episode here. And I'm going to stop that audio. We're going to go ahead and jump into Smash TV. Now, what I loved about this game is the whole freaking attitude of it. So this is a twin stick shooter that takes place in the world of, well, kind of the Running Man. If you remember that movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, The Running Man, that's basically what this is. You're in a game show having to go ahead and beat all the baddies and collect prizes and beat the bosses and continue moving forward. And it's done exactly like a game show. And you're going to go ahead and see. We're going to jump in right now. Awesome twin stick shooting game here. All right, and here we are in Arena 1. So you can see the lighting rig for the studio moving out of the way. Yeah, so this game, man. All right, now you're going to see up in the corner there, it'll tell you what prizes you're winning when you pick them up. Let's grab some weapons. That blew that up. This should be shields, basically. And so, you know, what I love about this game and the prizes that they're giving you is they're really just locked in time. A 1999's Roadster. I think you win a VCR as well. Just really awesome. Also, oh, a brand new toaster. Now, the thing about toasters, right, or blenders, back in the 80s and 90s, well, if you went and, let's say, opened up a bank account at your local bank, they used to give you gifts for doing that. And it wasn't money or anything. Terrible right there from the 90s. So basically what would wind up happening is you would open up a bank account and they'd give you a free toaster or a free blender. That was like a common sort of gift. There you go, a brand new VCR. No, nobody's getting VCRs anymore. And so, you know, it leans into all of those tropes, right? Really, really awesome. Okay, so variety of different weapons. You know, there's basically a bomb that blows up and new enemies start making their way in the playfield. This big boy up here, you got to get rid of him right away because he times out. It's kind of like a smart bomb. So after a period of time, he will basically self-destruct and then his body will just drop shrapnel or fire shrapnel out, and you don't want that. Yeah. All right. Yeah. See, here we go. Don't mind getting a free brand new VCR. I wouldn't mind either. Actually, I've actually got a couple of them that I use for preservation work or for capturing, you know, old content and things like that. So yeah, I've got a couple of them at home. Oh, there's that shrapnel again. This game is brutal as hell, and you can see how rusty I am playing this. And yeah, hey, thanks Blogger for the comment and you know, coming by there. All right, let's see. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. We'll go and grab that shield. Oh, look at that. Gotta grab that tank. You got bombs out here on the ground. You have to, or mines you have to look out for. At least we got to get to the first boss, right? So now, you know, this is a branching path sort of thing, so you can choose which way you want to go. Let me grab that gift. There's that brand new toaster. Let's head on up. Now, what you'll notice is that you have some weapons, some enemies that are up there in the little box up at the top there. So now you're not only worrying about enemies that are coming out of the different doors and mines on the floor, but you're also worrying about this guy shooting at you from above, right? So you gotta make sure you take them out. Also gotta get that spread. Ah, man, so difficult. You got those little rings around you there too. That basically is invincibility for a small period of time, so you can basically get into the game. But yeah, you know, these games, they were, I don't want to say dumb. That's not the right word. They were definitely a product of their time, let's say, right? This is leaning again into the Schwarzenegger era of the 80s and 90s, all of those same types of, you know, like I said, Running Man tropes, the super big USA sort of games and pop culture. And just bombastic. What was so good about this too, when you're playing it on the actual cabinet, the speakers they put there were awesome. So this thing would kind of, you know, shake the cabinet with big bombastic explosions. Love it. And there were some really good conversions of this for the home as well. Super Nintendo had a conversion of Super Smash. It was a ton of fun to play and really playable even on a Super Nintendo controller. This game, you know, required really twin sticks, and obviously on an SNES you didn't have that. So you had to use the cross buttons on one side and the cross pad on the other side to play, but worked really well, actually. All right, Mr. Shrapnel. So that's the name of this guy. Yes, you want to basically clear off as much as you can, because if you do not, they're going to start exploding, and there you go. So you're just dealing with the ripple of those, of all that shrapnel careening around the field here. All right, need that spread. Here we go. Let's go ahead and see if we can clear these. Ah, man. Clear these guys out. All right, some missiles there. Yeah, that's what you really need to get rid of Mr. Shrapnel. Let's see. Come on, come on. All right, we got him there. I think this one will take us to the first boss. Yes, this game was absolutely brutal.
Big money!
Big money!
I love it!
It's so ridiculous. Right, so it's telling you, all right, go ahead and grab as much as you can before they all come out. All right, this guy, yep. Some of them will start moving faster now. Get that spread. Oh, here we go, here we go. Gotta grab invincibility there. Yeah, look at that. And yeah, and when you're stuck with just that single cannon there, so difficult. Come on. See, now I can't even get in. I was trying to get in there to get the free life, but you know, when we're playing here on Rewind, we've got an unlimited amount of quarters to be able to play. There we go. Yeah, you got to burn down on each one of those weapons. I think it shows you at the top there what the burn down is under your score. But I'm just going to keep popping virtual quarters in until we get to at least the boss so we can go in and see it, because it's just so absurd and fantastic all at the same time. But yeah, we were having a conversation yesterday on LinkedIn, actually, with the game with the game industry, and talking about, unfortunately, a number of the layoffs that have occurred this year. My heart goes out to, our colleagues in the industry that have been faced with this. It's been pretty brutal. Way to start 2024, and I hope again my friends and colleagues find safe. Soft landing, right, into new opportunities. And one of the things that came up was somebody saying, hey, I'm an independent game developer, but, I'm afraid that if I do indie only, AAAs won't want to talk to me, or that's not going to be good for my portfolio. And here was part of my advice that I gave them, is stop trying to refine the assets, refine the fun, right? Because a good game is a good game, regardless of the graphics. Graphics is served to enhance the story you're telling or the experience that you're giving, but it is no replace for excellent gameplay. And that's the thing about games from this era, and games like this that just hold up, because the gameplay is just so good, right? The mechanics are really good. It's compelling. We see in twin stick games like Nex Machina, or the House Mark games, or the House Marquee games. Really awesome. And that's what I love again about games like this. Their gameplay just stands the test of time, even if you didn't grow up with it, and even if you may not be your cup of tea when you first see it. Once you jump in and start playing, man, it is just addictive, just one more turn type of fun. And yeah, I love it, absolutely love it. All right, here we go, come on, I know. Popping, how much was it? That was like $1.25 already. So that would be, a good chunk of my allowance for the week. When I was a little kid. Okay, I think, what are these? These are the explosion mines. Damn. Right, here we go. But yeah, if you've never played this game before, make sure you go look it up. There's a ton of different ways to go and play it online. If you got a Super Nintendo, go ahead and grab that version. It's an awesome home conversion of the game. And maybe we're actually going to play it on the Super Nintendo episode. I'll go ahead and get my copy out. We'll go ahead and play. Oh, another great one that we're going to cover there too is Zombie Ate My Neighbor. So good. So good. Ah, come on. Do you all remember ever playing this? Did you play Smash TV when it was in the arcades? Have you ever played the home version of it before? Well, let me know in the comments if you have. All right, here we go, I think. There we go. Uh-oh. Mutoid Man. that. Big money, big prizes. Here we go. Here we go. Woo! Oh my God, yeah, this used to, that roaring used to just scare the bejesus out of me too. All right, here we go. Are we gonna be able to do it? Let's go ahead and get that little punk off of this front there. Yeah, you need to have some good weapons to get him. Come on. Come on. Grab that key. Get rid of that. Gotta get rid of that guy up front there. 'Cause he's just pitching those little, there we go. Okay. Now we're underneath him.
10 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
Contestant.
Yeah, it's a good thing I've got those in the unlimited amount of quarters. I must be, you know, like Ricky Schroeder. Have unlimited games in my house. All right, come on, come on. All right, now he's lost his arms. Here comes those bomb guys. Oh, gosh, man. Yeah, oh, terrible, terrible. In fact, I think, you know, in the Super Nintendo version of this, the Mutoid Man was even bigger than he is here in the arcade version. All right, now he's going to speed up real quick. And let's see, come on. Get out of his head there. There we go. Little gross. You want to try to collect 10 of those? Oh, terrible. Okay, yes way. Oh, shoot. That's right, I forgot. He mutates one more time. Grab that. There we go. Did we get it? We got it. Yay! What do we say there, kids? Yeah. Ooh! Robotron, and Robotron still is awesome. You are 100% correct. Absolutely it is. And that is Smash TV. Loved the game. Still love it to this day. One of my favorites of all time. I mean, just look at everything, the colors to the sounds to the treatment. Look at all those muscles, right? This was straight out of the 80s. Crazy, crazy. All right, Smash TV. Let's go ahead and move on to another of my absolute favorite games, like I said, in the 90s. Now, this one is part of a series of games, and it is my favorite shmup, right? Which is basically a shoot 'em up game, and actually, it's more specifically, it's a vertical scrolling game. So in order to do that, let's go ahead and bring in our vertical arcade cabinet here, and let's make sure that we have that set up there. Yes, this is Raiden. So Raiden, really an awesome top-down scroller. And I've had this, again, on multiple platforms. I've had this on I have an arcade version at home, but I also have it on the original PlayStation, on the Jaguar, on the TurboGrafx 16. I bought this game multiple times. Really fun to play, especially when you get 2 players to play. And what's cool is that it was one of the first vertical scrolling games that I played where you really had to think about the type of weapons that you go pick up. So there's 2 in Raiden 1, not the second one. There are multiple types of weapons that you can pick up. The blue one's not the one that I like. Okay, so this is basically the straight laser one. It's powerful, but it only shoots straight, right? You don't have any spread on there. So I like the spread fire ones. Although you can dispatch with stronger enemies pretty quickly with the blue laser. But the red one at least gives you more coverage, right? Especially when you're dealing with multiple planes of enemies. The other cool thing about this game was the first one I really remember where, even though it's a vertical scrolling game, you still had this, you were shooting, or rather the screen would scroll side to side. So you see, I mean, you're not just moving, come on. You're not just moving up and down, or rather, you're not just having the enemies attack from the top and moving just in like a static left-right playfield. There's a little bit of the playfield that is off the screen that you can kind of scroll to it. So you have to really start to memorize the patterns of the levels. There's a bomb, want to go grab that, to be able to clear them effectively. And then you're also dealing with the different obstacles on the ground that if you blow them away, you get medals, and those give you different points. All right, so we'll just get through this one level here. But yeah, this is my favorite vertical shooter game from the 90s. The Raiden and the Raiden series. Just really fantastic. Music's great. Graphics were awesome. It was really cool. I mean, for the Atari Jaguar was, I think, probably the best home conversion. Even though the Jaguar, you know, is an acquired taste and not a lot of people really love it, there were some amazing ones. You're waiting for this game on the Amiga. Yeah, Amiga had some other really good shooters as well. Housemarque Key was also on there as well. And when we do our Amiga version, we're going to go in and lean into a bunch of those too. All right, this one needs a bomb. And now we'll have a second guy come out there too. Let's see, can I grab that one? Oh, damn. All right, come on. Come on. And now he got another one in there too. So I'm going to hit him too. Oh, there's that bomb. And it's going to tell me my game is over, right? Yeah, it is. But, you know, we're going to go ahead and still continue. How about that? Let's see. Yeah, let's continue. Let's at least just get off the level, right? We'll just at least get off the level here if I can. But now, just continuing, I've lost any of my upgrades, which I now have to try to go ahead and capture before I get up there. And I guess we'll just grab this one. Not the one I wanted. All right, here we go. 1, 2. And then we're going to rip through a bunch of other ones, and I'm not going to play as much in this so we can see more games and kind of taste them versus having me play through them. My problem is I love these. Like the ones I'm showing you are among my most favorites, and so it's hard to put them down. But I do want to go ahead and show you a bunch more. Oh, I have no more bombs. Can I at least get one of these guys out? All right, we got him out. Damn. Yeah, and the thing is, like, and when you're talking about other games, like in the shmup category, you know, we're not even to, like, the Dodonpachis and those sorts of things, which are blisteringly difficult to play. But yeah, Raiden, that is Raiden. Yes, definitely go ahead and check out Raiden because it is an awesome vertical shooting game from the 1990s. Yeah, really, really good. Love it. All right, let's go ahead and move on to another game. Okay, so I had a couple of people kind of ping me and say, I hope that you're going to have the game that I'm thinking about. I'm like, yes, we will. And let's go ahead and jump into probably the greatest kind of side-scrolling beat-em-up from not just that era, but one of the greatest of all time. Truly a goat of a game. And that would be, well, I'm not even going to tell you. I'm just going to let you see it and let me know if you know what this is. But here we go. Let's go ahead and pop this up. And let's make sure that oh, there we go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn down this volume a bit just to make sure we don't get copyright strikes or anything like that, right, on this for the audio. But yeah, this one, a banger of a side-scrolling beat 'em up. Of course, I always like to play as Homer. And here we go. Just look at the animation on this. There's all different types of tricks that you can learn with the controls when you went to play. I'll just put on some music in the background here while we turn the well, I don't think I need to put the volume down. Let's see. I'll turn the volume down a little bit. We'll get some music over it in the background there. And here we go. So there's Big Homer. Yeah, classic game. You could pick up certain objects in the environment, but you also wanted to avoid things like if I get close to the door, watch. Let's see. Is it going to happen? Yep. Got close to the door, and so you basically got slammed by that. Same thing is going to happen there if you got too close to the arcade. You have different bosses here. Oh. And then if you had, I think if you had multiple players on the play field, you could also go ahead and use them in like a dual attack. So you could, you know, grab one of the other players and come on. and use them as kind of like a weapon, right? All right, let's see. You got to wiggle that joystick and hit those buttons. Get Homer out of the way. Look at the animation on this. And all like the little details in the background there, right? The Super Homer. You have Principal Skinner, you know, in graffiti on there. Let's see, here we go. Now, other games like this that were super popular during the same era were like Final Fight. And on the home systems, my favorite in that type of genre was Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage, best side-scrolling beat 'em up for our home consoles of all time. Oh, shoot, I didn't want to do that. And I wanted to grab that. And here we go. Come on. There we go. And the good thing, again, with unlimited credits, you know, we'll be able to beat them and just continue, right? And that's the one thing, too. You know, remember, you think about games from this era. Not just this era. Arcade games were meant to take your money. That was their job, right? Was to take your money. And so they were difficult. You know, these were not games that were easily approached. Yep, there we go. Oh. Yeah, phenomenal game. If you've never played the Sims game, in fact, 1UP Arcade, the company that does the mini arcade machines, I have several of them at home. Really excellent little machines. They have a Simpsons arcade one, and I believe it's got a 4-player setup, so you can have up to 4 family members standing around playing the Simpsons arcade in your house. Really fantastic. Yeah, look at that. And they got everything right about it, about the Simpsons, you know? They, everything from Krusty to all of the, you know, well, not all, but a lot of the supporting characters. All right, bonus stage, and you have to basically hit these 2 buttons to blow up the balloon and go after Maggie. So, and let's see. And so you were slamming on the key, on the buttons, just like, you know, like Konami's, like track and field and stuff like that. So you were on it. It was awesome. It was so much fun, right? And there you go. There's your player points. So that was the Simpsons arcade game. And yeah, they have all these different, I think there's 5 levels if I'm not mistaken. And just, you know, what a wonderful throwback to that era, right? When the Simpsons were new and super fresh and really at the height of their popularity. And Konami did just an incredible job with this game. So yeah, so that is the Simpsons arcade game. Yes. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into another beat 'em up that was equally popular. And you can also get one of these games from the arcade 1UP set. Winners don't use drugs. That is right. They don't. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, one of the big beat 'em ups as well. Really fantastic. And of course, you know, you have to be Michelangelo, and there's April O'Neil with the evening news. Let's hear a little bit of the audio there. Little shredder popping in.
Bring that statue back, you bloated beanbag.
Oh, you bloated beanbag. Big Apple, 3 a.m. Now, the thing about this game, too, another excellent conversion on the Super Nintendo for the home, excuse me. Really fantastic. There was the second one, a follow-on to this, that was on the Genesis, and I believe it was the Hyperstone Heist is what it was called. And they did all these really cool things with sprite scaling, right? So in this era of games, they started to do stuff that we just hadn't seen before. When you say sprite scaling, what I mean is there are times when you can grab an enemy, and when you hit them, you'll see them kind of fly into the screen just like that. It was really cool, right? Because you saw it hit the screen. We hadn't seen stuff like that before. So it made it feel like, well, they were inside of, you know, your inside of that cabinet, really there. And there's a physicality and a spatial component to it of them flying off the playfield towards the screen and getting blocked by the glass of that beautiful CRT that you were playing on. Oh, that's right. I forgot. That'll mess you up there. all the different foot soldier types coming out. And you can do things like you'll be able to, I think, grab some of them depending on the proximity that you are to them. Yeah, so much fun. Just chaos. And you can imagine, again, playing this with 4 players at the same time. So much fun on my arcade one up at home. We have a ton of fun playing this one together as well. It can be a little cramped because the machines are a little bit smaller, but still a ton of fun to play. And just look at that. So good. Throwback to the 90s. See, we wouldn't necessarily have this kind of music playing. We would probably have, you know, Nirvana and Alice in Chains and stuff like that playing in the background, not this kind of music. Although, you know, it was close enough to the 80s. Still a lot of 80s music being played in arcades at that time, right? From Duran Duran to Michael Jackson. Okay, here we go. Some big... Let's see. All right, there's that rush. And then I won't go ahead and play through Baxter Stockman, right? And this one is a tough one because you're playing on 2 planes, so you have to go ahead and hit him when he's down here, and then he's going to throw down this hand that is really hard to escape from. Let's see. Come on. Get you. Got a couple of hits in there, and then when he takes back up in the air, now he should probably throw that hand. Let's see. No, not yet. Let's see. Shoot, really difficult to get past this one, too. All right, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and stop so we can go ahead and get a few more in, but that was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time game for the arcade. It's so much fun to play through that. And again, go ahead and check out the Arcade 1-Up games. They are pretty amazing. And for the price, you can go ahead and get that game at home and play with your family and friends. Ton of fun. All right, let's move on to, let's see. Okay, one of my favorite games I mentioned in the last episode is a game called Elevator Action. And there was a sequel to Elevator Action that came over here, came out in the arcades, and I'm firing this up right now. So let me go ahead and make sure it's lit up before we. There we go. It would throw a couple of credits in there. And so this is an evolution of the the first game, and so you get to choose from multiple characters, and then you get to choose different paths that you go ahead and take through. And so now what you need to do is, again, you need to get into all of the different doors that have the different parts of the plan by using these elevators and shoot the baddies. Except in this one, they've expanded, so you can get additional weapons and different points for things. All right, there's my jump. More advanced animation than we had before. And let's see. Now, again, I'm on top of the elevator, so I can't use that. And you can also jump across where the elevator is, which you couldn't do in the original Elevator Action because of the elevator cable. So now I have to go in and get a data, apparently. All right, so I'm going to jump down here. Wonder, can I jump in here? Probably not. All right, so we need to make our way across. Now, the one thing that I didn't like is that they included, you know, like the dogs here. I don't particularly care for that, but what they did do is the dogs don't die. They just howl, right, and go away. So you're not hurting, you know, innocent dogs. You're just... But that tells you the kind of jerks that you're dealing with, right? That they would do that to a poor dog. Look at that. You need to crush the old order. Live free or die, apparently, according to this. So here we... Oh, no! I wasn't paying attention. I was looking to see if we had any comments in this section here. So let's see. All right. Now I think after I get through this guy, yeah. Now we're going to start to see, yeah, explosion. So now it takes you outside of that elevator space and moves you into, or rather, it blows apart the building that you're in. Can I jump through it? No, I can't. All right, so one of the things about this is, so now I'm stuck. Okay, I can't get through here. So what I have to do is go back up and then over in order to get out of the level here. Okay, let's go. Elevator Action Returns. Great game. Great game. So much fun. Okay, so now they've set up the alarm. So now, shoot, that's what I wanted. All right, let's see. Let's get all the way over. Let's see. Come on. Jump across, get in the door, shut that off. Right, and get to that guy. Oh, look at that. I sent the fire down to him. Look at that. Awesome. We got some bad guys here. Oh, we got me messing up. Oh, shoot. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to make my way down to the bottom. And then, here we go. Got into my van, and I'm up out of here. Completed. Yay! And now you're on a completely different type of environment. So here we are in a airport, crashing through, and boom, off we go. So it's still the same mechanics, but just different environment, right? So it really brings a lot of variety to the gameplay. And you can see, again, if you watch the last episode and have played Elevator Action, same mechanics, but they've managed to amp it up, right? Which is great. So this is Elevator Action Returns. Ton of fun, great arcade game. Not one that's played often, but I think it's definitely worth pursuing and checking out because it is just so darn cool. All right, let's go in the door here, get a data. And now when I move over to this side here, let's see, he's coming out from behind there. Okay, now I got these things popping down here. I think I can go, up the escalator here. And, shoot, gotta get out of that way. Gotta get out of this way. Can I go in there? No, I can't go in there. Can I go back over? No, it's not gonna let me go back over. So once you're past, oh shoot, that's it. You're basically done. You're stuck on this plane here. And let's see what's gonna happen. Boom, boom, boom. So now all these punks are gonna start coming in here. Oh, look at that, flying in. So good. And there are other games like that, like this in this era. Like the Metal Slug series of games. Maybe we'll go fire up one of those too. I know I fired them up before, but I do love me some Metal Slug. Yeah, so this is Elevator Action Returns. Great game. I also believe this came out on the Sega Saturn, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, really, really awesome game. Elevator Action Returns. Yeah, that's another gem from the 90s that we don't really see or get to play much anymore. All right, let's go on and check out. Let's see, what else should we check out today? I think what we're gonna do is let's head on over to the Neo Geo. Now the Neo Geo, again, really another one of my favorite machines. Not big. I had a lot of fighting games on it. I wasn't very good at fighting games. I didn't play a lot of them, right? But they had some awesome arcade games, and the one I remember just stuck out all the time for me was this guy. And I know I played him before, but we're going to go play it again. And this is, well, I'm not going to spoil it for him. I'm going to let you see. I'm just going to let you see. All right, let me turn this music all the way down. Magician Lord. And what made this one such a banger of a game, too, was the soundtrack. Loved the soundtrack for this. I'm going to turn the volume up a bit, too, so we can hear all of those crashes that Magician Lord plays. Listen to that. Those shots. Oh, so good. So good. All right, let's see. Here we go. Just 2 buttons. Jump and shot. That's it. Just jump and shot. Listen to this music. Okay, there's our jump. There's our shot. Jump. Missed that jump there. Listen to that audio. I mean, you know, these are using samples and stuff like that, which we didn't really have a lot of in this era. We only had them for, like in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, you had them for, you know, like audio samples and some beats and things like that. But this whole game is nothing but samples and really leaning into it. So good. Animation is crazy. All the background stuff that was going on, super awesome. Okay, I lost my evolution there because as much as I love these games, I'm not the best at them, but I do enjoy them. You know, and if you got enough quarters, you can be good, right, at playing them. So let's go on in and see what's on the next level here. Ooh. Did you play Neo Geo at all? Was it something that you were familiar with, or was it something that was around when you were starting to play video games? Did you play it in the arcade? So yeah, the other thing about the Neo Geo was they had several different versions of the cabinet. They had a 4-game or a 6-game version. So you could go and play or walk through the cabinet, and then you had multiple Neo Geo games to go and choose from. And the cool thing for the arcade owner was that, oh come on. The cool thing was for the arcade owner was they could have multiple games in there, and if they wanted to go ahead and change the games out, they could. So they could constantly keep refreshing the the game selection that you had, which was really unique at the time. The other thing too is if you had the home, if you had the home version of the game, I told you I'm not very good at that game, but I do love it. If you're playing it at home, you had a memory card that you could go and take out of your home machine, take it to the arcade, plug it in to the cabinet, and continue playing from the arcade. Very unique. There was no other arcade system or cabinet that did that at the time. It was pretty awesome. There you go. You could save to your memory card. How about that? We got that exactly right. All right. Another awesome game from the Neo Geo, of course, from the 90s. And this one I've had on many systems as well. Wonderful puzzle game. And but we've seen so many other games like this. What used to drive me nuts when I would see this is people go, oh, it's just like Snood. It's like, no, it's not like Snood, right? Snood is like Bubble Bobble or Puzzle Bobble, as was also known. And you got Bub and Bob, and let's go play against the computer here. We'll play normally. And it has this little Taito story that plays out here. All right, so the object here is, of course, to match 3 colored bubbles to clear them from the screen. But if you clear, let's say, 5 bubbles, right? So you match up the 3 that you need to clear, but there are other bubbles hanging on to it. Like I'll put a green one there, put a yellow one. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Any extra bubbles beyond 3 then move over to your opponent's playfield. And so you can basically swamp them with bubbles if you're good enough to do so. I'm talking too much, so I may not be good enough, but we'll see what we can do here. All right, so that should drop 1 over to him. Right, so you can start to build and chain these different wings together and basically try to beat your opponent. Let's see. So I should knock off those 3. So they just line up at the bottom of his, and they just added to his side of the playfield. So it's not just a puzzle type of game. There's also a lot of strategy that went into how you played the game. It's really a lot of fun. All right, that green one's over. That one is over. All right, I'm gonna stop talking for a second and just concentrate on playing here. I shouldn't have done that. I can't get that in there now. He's going to win this one, I think. Let's see. Unless I can swamp him right here. Let's see. Damn it. And then the whole screen starts to vibrate, so it makes it harder to make that one final shot if you haven't done it before. Okay, there's one. There we go. Yay! We went ahead and did it. So he lost and he's crying. So much fun to play this game. And when you're playing against, a friend at home or something, this is a game that makes enemies out of family members and friends, right? This is kind of like Monopoly, because if you stack them all up and really beat somebody too badly, they start getting angry, and that's also a ton of fun too. And the music's just awesome. What a joyous little game. Characters are great, and it leans into the whole Bubble Bobble game, which was one of my favorite arcade games from the 1980s. We went over that last week on games from the 80s. And here we are in the 90s. And, oh my goodness, that was terrible. And you get that same kind of Tetris-y, oh my goodness, I can't believe I messed this up feeling when you play. Let me get green, yellow, blue. Nope, that's it. He's gonna win. This is it, folks. That's it. Yep, that is it. Womp, womp, womp. Terrible, terrible. And you're crying out your big old tears right over there. But that is Bubble Bobble, or Puzzle Bobble as it was known in Japan. Really phenomenal game, and on the Neo Geo. Okay, let us go ahead and jump to. We have time for a couple of more. Now, I said that Raiden was my favorite vertical scrolling game, vertical shooting game, but I have a couple of horizontally moving games, right? Horizontal shoot 'em ups. One of them is R-Type. Love the R-Type series. Didn't have it set up for today, but R-Type, great. And you can play it on a whole bunch of different machines, all the way from like the Game Boy, up to arcades. Another one that is amazing is this one, Blazing Star. We played it on a previous episode too, but this one's got a ton of stuff going on in the field at the same time. Has great voices, terrible translations as well, and oh my goodness, so good. You can get this on everything from the iPad and your iPhone to systems at home, all the way up to the arcade. And yeah, here we go. Only 2 buttons on this one as well. I'm going to throw a couple of extra ones in there. And you can change the type of ship that you start off with. Let's go ahead and do 3-way shot. Decision. Listen to these audio samples come through here. Okay. And you're going to have them roaring out of the background, which is really cool. So you can see them launch from the mothership underneath you and then come into your field of view. New power-up item appears. All right, so you get power-up items for bonuses. You can hold down your shot to unleash basically a more powerful shot. Then you have these event items, and then you have these lucky panels. So there's a lot that you have to keep track of. And you want to spell the word lucky, if you can, to get, additional bonus points. And let's see. Yeah, you want to hit this guy here, and that power-up item's there. But listen to the soundtrack on this too. Again, a lot of sampled music, and rather samples that are used in all of the audio, which just made it richer sonically, right? Than other games at the time. You got a little guitar rock in there, a little hair metal going on. Okay, oh, and then asked me if I was serious. Because I suck. There's my lucky panel. All right, we got them all. Yeah, that's what it said. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Hey, an event item comes. We'll grab that one. It said to get it more, and we did get it more, which was fantastic.
The big one is close again.
Oh no. Here we go. And we'll just wait until he's vulnerable, and then we'll go ahead and start hitting him there with the big shot. You want to let that meter build up. and then he'll telegraph where he's going to fire next. And the good thing is that when he's firing those blistering or the rapid ones, it locks, so it's not moving the entire time, which is good. Are you serious? That's what it asked me. There we go. Yes, I am serious, man. All right. There we go. Or lady, I should say. Hey, poor player. Terrible. I just love how it insults you as you're playing the game, right? All right. So now we have the evolution of this. Got to get it more, according to her, and you beat it. And look at that slowdown that happened. And that happened because the system just really couldn't process everything that was on the screen really, well enough to keep it going. Lucky, yay! There we go. And I got the ranking of D. D for dummy, because I'm terrible at playing this one, even though I do love it. And again, you don't have to be great at these to enjoy them, right? Oh, look at this too, by the way. Look at the parallax scrolling that this has going on, right? It almost looks 3D. All of that is 2D art, which is so cool, right? And yeah, I mean, this was really the era of pixel art. This is where that art form hit its greatest stride, right, in the early system. Of course, now we have wonderful pixel art as well. Everything from like Dave the Diver forward, right? But back then, look at this thing. If you were playing this in the late 90s, you were like, what? How the hell is this doing it? Amazing. Look at the depth on that. Love it, love it, love it, love it. All right. So that was Blazing Star. Let's see if we have time for maybe one or two more. Yeah, we have time for one or two more. Let's see. Maybe we'll go with a bit of Twinkle Star Sprites. Now, Twinkle Star Sprites is another vertical shooting game, but it splits the screen. And so you'll see what I mean. It kind of leans into the stuff that that we saw with Bubble Bobble or Puzzle Bobble, where you basically push enemies back and forth, or enemies that you eliminate drop into your opponent's playfield, right? So it's telling you how to do this. Now, one of the interesting things, if you've never played a Neo Geo game before, there are 4 buttons that are on the panel, and all Neo Geo games showed you, the player, which buttons you needed to go ahead and press, and the ones you didn't need to use were always crossed out. It was a really cool way of teaching people how to go ahead and play very simply, right? Getting in, because it could be intimidating walking up to a cabinet like that you'd never played before. But let's go ahead and jump in and play a little Twinkle Star Sprite. So we'll go through story mode. Look at this. You got a little story mode. It feels very reminiscent of Puzzle Bobble. Meow to Pigums. It is not a pig. I be the Beastmaster. This be my pig bird. I am in a great hurry. Wrong. It be yan 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 yum yum. Wrong. The battle is on, and here we go. And now we're gonna jump in. Here we go. All right, so again, you can go ahead and drop your, come on. You can drop your enemies onto your opponent's playfield. Now, we also used to call these, I mean, not we, this is kind of a term in the industry. This was also known as a shoot-'em-up. A shoot-'em-up is basically a really difficult shoot-'em-up, but they use cuter characters and things like that. Yes, you see how I'm launching fallen enemies onto my opponent's playfield. Come on. Let's see. I drop that one down there. Let's see if we can go ahead and... Come on. There we go. I'm gonna have to hold the control like this so I can make it. Let's see. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So that sends that whole volley back over to their side. And I'm gonna hold this down, and we're gonna go ahead and try to fire through this as quickly as we can. But again, you know, like I said before, what really holds up with these games are the incredible gameplay. It's not always about the graphics, right? Oh, I lost. Womp womp. It's not always about the graphics. It's always about the gameplay. Doesn't matter how good your graphics are. If the gameplay isn't any good, doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter. So, all right, let's go ahead and see if we can get one more game in here before we get out. You know, I think I'm going to go through the ultimate run and gun game. And this whole series, I own this series on pretty much every modern console that I have. I have a cab at home as well. This is the Metal Slug series of games. Man, this game and this series just will destroy your hands. Actually, I think this one was in 2000, so we're right at the cusp of the 90s. But this one is kind of my one of my favorites in this series. So we're going to play this one instead of the one from the 90s. Here we go. Marco. And I have this on everything from the Neo Geo Pocket Color all the way forward. But, oh yeah, look at this. Here we go. Here we go. We got some enemy crabs and some fishies we're going to get. We got a little jump there. Okay, now you also have to rescue your hostages, your comrades. And you want to... Oh, I got too close. Come on. Okay, I'm going to put the controller down here so I can fire that up. Yeah, look at all the explosions. So much detail on the screen of this guy. They always say thank you. Very pleasant. Yeah, very polite comrades that you're saving there. We'll go ahead and get him down here, and this one down here. That's the other thing too, is that when the enemies get closer, you're not using your weapon, you know, like a gun or anything like that. You are using... Which way do I go? Oh, you know what? Let's go the Metal Slug side. Let's see. Can I jump down there? I'm going to grab him first. See, if I'd gone down below, then I would have missed grabbing him up top. And yeah, you don't want to do that. So here we go. Here we go. Look at those baddies. All hand-drawn animation, or hand-drawn, you know, arts, 2D art, really incredibly detailed. So much fun to go ahead and play through. We want to get this guy here because that'll give us some honing stuff. Yeah, and instead of, you know, like tanks and things like that. Oh, where do we go? Let's go down and get him. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I can't swim apparently. Those piranhas done got me. Come on. Come on. Oh, why did you do that, dummy? Come on. I didn't want that chicken. Come on. Oh, gosh. Okay, because I'm pressing the wrong button here. All right, let's go. Let's go. I love their reactions, too, and it's almost like the Wilhelm scream. All right, I have to get off of that. Okay, and then we're going to get in here. Come down here and grab this guy. Oh, okay, come on. Get up. Oh, see, I needed to jump back up onto the boat, but I done missed that boat. All right, here we go. See? Oh, and they're hanging up there. My vines, you got to fire up to get them down. And look at this. They got bombs coming in from all over the place. You want to blow those up if you can. Not touch them. No. All right, one more time. One more time. Just one more connect, and then we're going to get out. But you can see, I mean, just look at the type of games that we had in the 90s. Just really different. You can see they're much more elaborate. The audio was so much better. Colors were super vibrant. A ton of stuff going on screen at the same time, but still leaning into the mechanics of games from the 80s. Also, you'll notice that my character, Marco, now ate too many of the food-based rewards, and so now he is a bigger boy, and so he moves a little bit slower and a little easier to hit. So, you know, you have to trade off eating. Oh, he exploded that big belly of his. I'm closer to that Marco than this Marco nowadays. All right, so here we go. Let's see. Trying to go ahead. My hand is going to be killing me here. All right, we got to throw that up there. Let's go grab those homing ones. Boom, boom. All right, here we go. Look at all of those natural baddies that are out here in the playfield. Oh. Okay, and then now we're gonna have something that comes up from the top, I'm sure. Here we go. Let's see. Boom, that exploded, and let's get into our metal slug. And there we go. Oh, shoot. See, I missed it. I missed jumping in. Look at that. No polygons on this screen. All beautiful 2D art. All hand-drawn. Meticulously animated. Right? Just incredible. Incredible. Look at that. And then look at the water, too. Just beautiful, beautiful artwork. You know, and again, this was the hallmark of games in that era. Just really amazing. Just amazing. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. At least let me just get past him. And then we'll go ahead and get out of here and get on with our weekend. Oh, look at that, hit by fire. Come on, come on. Huh. Damn. So good. This is a game you really needed to have friends to play with when you're playing it, so that way you can just go after them, because my goodness, you can see how. Okay, come on, come on. Ah, jeez, like can't even get far enough away to blow him up. Okay, yeah. There we go. Okay, come on. Oh my gosh, man. Come on. Come on, buddy. Oh, my God. All right, come on. I got to get past this. Now, this one game. Good thing is if you have it at home, you can just keep continuing, because, my goodness, it is blistering. Oh, there we go. For goodness sake. It only cost about $70 in quarters to go ahead and do that. And that was only the first level of Metal Slug. My goodness, my goodness. But that was Metal Slug, and yeah, just really fantastic game. Really fantastic, and fantastic there in the 90s. And so that was a little taste of my favorite arcade games from the 1990s. Follow on to the 80s, which had some of the greatest games of all time. 90s went ahead and just amped everything up. Incredible art, incredible gameplay, multiplayer, a bunch of different types of gameplay started coming in here. And I know that I didn't touch on the fighting game genre, racing games, which I also love. Daytona, Sega Rally Championship, Scud Racer, Radmobile, all amazing games. Maybe we'll go ahead and do an entire episode on racing games. That will require a lot more equipment here in the studio to go ahead and get that done. But that's going to take us to the end of this episode of Rewind. And so remember, if you are a video game developer of any size, from AAA to indie, make sure you head on over to aws.amazon.com/GameTech to discover the products, solutions, and services that we offer to help you on your cloud game development journey. And if you are a beginner looking for a clear starting point to help you build a career or learn to produce games in the AWS cloud, we recommend you start with an AWS Learning Plan. This set of on-demand courses will increase your knowledge of game servers and game analytics and help grow your technical skills to solve real-world game development, compute, and analytics problems. And you can demonstrate your knowledge to the world by earning these digital badges. Head on over to aws.training/GameTech to start your AWS for Games learning plan today. And of course, as always, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to Waterflame for allowing us to use his music here on Rewind. Make sure you head on over to his YouTube channel at Waterflame Music to check out his incredible work. And of course, if you care about preserving the history of video games as much as I do, make sure you head on over to the Video Game History Foundation's website at gamehistory.org. They're doing incredible work to preserve the history of our industry for future generations. And I want to thank you for spending your Friday afternoon with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, an awesome weekend, and we'll see you next week on Rewind.